Here we are, the next episode. Da 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 da. I just wanted to continue telling my story with Joey. Happy endings in the future. And I also want to mention one important point, and that is this. We are, as cult members, former cult members, we have it so ingrained into our brain that when we leave the fold, that everything bad is going to happen to you, that you're in Satan's hand, and it is scary to leave because you really feel like you don't have the protection of God when you leave the cult. But here's the thing. Did you really have the protection when there's child abuse, when there's all this other sort of abuse? And it's just so drilled into us to be very, very afraid of leaving. And what happens is sometimes people have such a hard time to cope leaving and losing their families, losing their friends. They have a really hard time because we're emotionally affected. The whole thing is hard. And maybe they do fall apart after leaving. And I understand that. Maybe you turn to drugs and alcohol, and I do understand it. But that is such a poster, like, to hang up for the J-dubs, for any cult people. Look what happens to you when you leave the truth. And we've seen this, and it makes you even more afraid and more wanting to stay within your fold. But I think it's actually really important to get all the tools available to us and really try to make a life after the cult for yourself, to show other people, look, actually, I'm doing really well. I'm probably doing better than I did before. I'm happier than I've ever been. It actually helps people leave because then they can think, hey, she's not being eaten up by Satan. She's doing pretty good. Maybe it's not so scary leaving the cult. And of course, it's easier said than done. I can say that, and everybody has struggles and emotional things to go through. But please take advantage of the tools. Go seek a therapist, preferably somebody who understands cults or is a specialist for cults, and try to build up your life. What do they say? Like, the best way of revenge is like to live a happy life. Not to be angry. And we have every right to be angry. We really do. So much was stolen from us. But it doesn't do any good to be angry about it. It just makes you bitter. And we do have life to live. There's so much beauty and excitement. Now you're free. Now you're really free and you can enjoy your life. You can travel. You can do birthday parties. And it's exciting for us. It is actually, it can be a happy life for us. And I think it's important. And so I'm almost happy when people see that I am with a nice person. The kids are doing well. They're in sports. They're going to college. Like, this is so good, and they are free to do those things. So I just wanted to throw that point out there. And now we're going to go back to the story with Joey. One Saturday morning, we went to the farmer's market out of town. And he's so funny because he really felt like he had to teach me that we're equals and that he doesn't have any sort of headship, like we're a team. But he said to me, in order to get all this is what he said, the Jehovah's Witness bullshit out of your brain, I'm going to keep telling you that you're the boss. So he would just always say that when we're dating. You're the boss. You're the boss. And so we were at this farmer market, and that is exactly when he said the J-dub BS, and that, I'm free and I'm the boss. And I'm out of town, so I'm kind of like happy because I don't have any J-dubs on the radar. But a sister that I was kind of close to walked by us in the minute he said that. And I'm like, gulp. And then the second later, a kid walks by with a Kool Aid t-shirt. And I just had to crack up. But I looked at the sister, I don't think it clicked with her. We are in different areas, and we would stay in touch over text message, but it had fizzled out a little bit. She didn't recognize me, and she probably didn't have it on her radar that I would be there with a boyfriend, and so she walked right by. But those moments are really kind of creepy. You're like, even though I'm out. And if you have read the book Shunned, it was so funny because she somehow woke up and she left her marriage, and she wasn't free, she wasn't happy, but she wasn't free according to J-Dub standards. And she starts working her way up a ladder at work, and it's like really successful at work. So she starts dating like this CEO type, like top dog, and she's strolling downtown with him, and she sees an elder from the congregation, and she's on this date with this boss from her work, and she jumps into the bush to hide. And she's like, it was such a split-second decision. I did not want to encounter that elder. I did not want to see him. But it just cracked me up because we all understand that feeling. And, the CEO guy kind of looked at her like, are you crazy? Are you okay? And she's like, this has got to stop. Like, this is so embarrassing to behave like that. But isn't that what the Jehovah's Witnesses really make us do? Like, we have to be so afraid. We are so afraid of getting caught. Like, we're grown people. I am on a date with my boyfriend, who is so sweet to me. And here I'm for a second like, a Jehovah's Witness is seeing me. And it's just so sad. So anyways, we kept dating, and at Christmas time, he made our first Christmas so unforgettable and beautiful. He got the kids something very, very, very special that they did not expect. And he just wanted to go all out, and he wrapped it. And seeing them unwrap their present that was a huge deal to them and flipping out, he definitely made our first Christmas unforgettable. And he did it for me too. My presents, I just was over the moon. What a guy. And then he was so cute because he wanted to be there Christmas morning, and he drove. We lived an hour apart. He drove an hour in pajamas and matching Christmas pajamas. So he drove, and then he popped cinnamon rolls into the oven and was just, it was special. It was so special. And seeing the kids have so much joy, like, I'm so happy we started having Christmas traditions. And we took a picture, all of us, with our matching PJs. It's just living the dream. I say this all the time. We're living the dream. And I could not even be more grateful that I met someone also who is so understanding, because, we do talk about the Jehovah's Witness stuff, and it was a huge part of our life, and it was in every single aspect of our life. So it comes up a lot, and he's very patient and understanding with it. He's not annoyed that we talk about it, and he listens and we talk about it, and he's just so nice. And then for the kids, he's the best guy that they could have ever dreamt of having. Like, for the kids to really accept and beyond that love someone is so special to watch. But it has a lot to do with the kind of person that he is. He's just so nice. How could you not love somebody who's nice and caring? He's just such a nice guy. He's the kind of guy that if you have a problem, you would go and talk to him. He's level-headed. He chills me out. And so we were at the same place that we went to on our first date. And we kind of were sitting down and chatting. I get up. He's like, okay, let's keep walking. And I get up, and he stays on his knee and says, look what position I find myself in. And I'm laughing because he's so funny. And he had the most beautiful ring and proposed to me in the spot that we had our first date in, which was really, really special. And we had already talked about this, but it was just the happiest time. And we were looking for a house to buy together. So I was selling our house and, yet another move. And I said to him, I have no problem moving to your city. It's still in the parameter where the kids are legally allowed to move to, so that's good. And I just really need a really good school for them, please. And he doesn't have kids, but he was so caring that he started really researching every single school. And he found the best school, and he's like, this is where we need to be. Now, at this time was when housing was horrible to find. There were multiple offers by multiple families, by multiple people on many properties, and it was terrible. Plus, we're a lot of people, And we found a house that was close to both high school, middle school, and elementary school in walking distance, and I love that because I think it's really good for the kids to be independent and walk to school or bike to school. And we wanted this house, but it just came on the market, and the realtor's like, it's going to be so tough. There will be offers, and there's really nothing to sell in the area. This is an area a lot of people want to be in because of the good schools. It's just going to be really hard. And you know what? I've learned to sometimes take a shot. Just take a shot, because so what if you get rejected? Like, just take a shot. When I called Joey on the phone that first night, it's really not something that I usually do, especially as a Jehovah's Witness woman. There's such shame in showing that you like somebody or making the first move and all that. There's so much shame attached to dealings with the opposite sex. It's unreal. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a shot. And I wrote the family who put the house for sale, and I wrote her some of my story. And I wrote her how I am so lucky to have met this man, and we're getting married. And I'm so lucky that my kids love him, and my kids deserve to be in a good school after everything we went through. And you know what? I don't know if it was the letter, but it felt like maybe it helped. The realtor called us, and she's like, they accepted your offer, and I am floored. She's like, your first offer that you put in, and immediately a sold house. She's like, I can't even believe it, because I have another family I've worked with, and they have put in 14 offers, and they cannot get a house. So how is it that it's so bad after you leave the quote-unquote truth? How? Don't be afraid. Life is so much better now. And so there was a little bit of a transition time in between that we sold our house and we were able to move into the new house and close. And Joey, he booked us a condo near his place. His place was too small for all of us, but not only did he get a little vacation condo for us to stay in for a week, this is the kind of guy he is. He's so thoughtful. He stocked the kitchen for us, for the kids and me. He's such a caretaker. This man is just melts my heart how good he is and how thoughtful in even the little things. He found us a place to stay in the transition period, and he stocked the kitchen. And it was just so sweet. And so we got married and we moved into our new house, and the kids started a new school, and it was better. Everything was better. Like, life is really, really good. And I'm so happy. And I just want to tell this story to people that are stuck in these bad relationships, that are stuck in this high control religion. Don't be afraid. You can be really happy again. I didn't think I could be. I thought I was damaged and broken from all the trauma. And I probably was. But love heals. I really believe that. I really truly think that love heals. And so here I am, happy as a clam. And that kind of wraps up this story. But it doesn't really wrap up my life and my stories. And I want to have a special episode that I will interview Joey and my cousin and my mom. So hold on tight for their perspective, their stories.